So, who would have guessed that in 2021 we'd be here talking about the Chucky TV series, and on top of that, saying it's probably the best thing on TV right now? Not me, but here we are. Nonetheless, let's get into this. So, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be covering Chucky every week as the episodes drop. I missed the first one, but from now on, we're just dropping these videos down. And so stay tuned for those. So let's talk about this latest episode because Lexi, she's a fucking bitch. So pretty much this episode starts with a flashback of Charles and eating an apple that has a razor on purpose. So yeah, we already know that Chucky ain't all there in the head, right? And pretty much we start off right where we left off after Jake's father has died. Now he's living with his uncle and his cousin, who's kind of an asshole, but is trying not to be, but still is an asshole. We see Chucky actually kill the maid here. Jake's at school now, and it's pretty tough still, but he does get invited to a party, and you know, right from the get-go, I was like, this doesn't sound right, Jake. But Jake's like, all right. Lexi is still pissed off about Jake doing the talent show where he was basically outing everything that she's doing and basically ridiculing her. So yeah, he gets invited to this party, and I was just like, Jake, don't do this. They're gonna pull something. So before we get into that, let's get into what happened after. So pretty much Devin here is trying to sort of be like, I'm sorry for what happened, Jake. I know how it feels, your father and all that. And I was in your shoes at a point, but we need friends. And I'm just like, come on, Devin, be a friend to my man Jake here. Now, of course, as I said in the beginning, Chucky ends up killing the maid. And so when Junior and Jake get back home, they see this. The police are a little suspicious of Jake. And they're just like, it's just a little too coincidental. Everywhere this kid goes, something like this happens. And of course, the uncle and the aunt are like, okay, y'all need to stop with this. How would he even do this? He was at school, all that. But of course, the suspicions are there. Jake does confront Chucky about this, where Chucky does end up becoming physical towards Jake. We then see Junior go to the party. Jake decides not to, but then he realizes Chucky's going to this party and he's going to have to go after him. Chucky goes trick-or-treating in an effort to try and find the party. He's wearing his Hello Kitty mask and all of that. And did anybody else see Hello Kitty actually do a picture with Chucky? I thought that was hilarious on Twitter today. He asks for directions of where the party is, and as a thank you, he gives the woman a apple. And if you remember what happened at the beginning of the episode, it ain't gonna be a happy ending for that apple and the woman, right? So ultimately we see Lexi at the party with Junior. They're pretty much together but fighting, and then we realize that Chucky has made it to the party as he is under the bed trying to stab them, but no avail. We see Jake make it to the party where he meets up with Devin, but he is just trying to find Lexi because he knows what Chucky's up to and he's trying to stop it before anything happens. Oliver spots Jake and Devin and locks them in a 7 minutes in hell type scenario. And I'm just like, I told you, Jake, these people, they ain't no good. Ultimately, Chucky does end up going with Lexi's little sister and they're playing video games. And I'm just like, damn, Chucky seems like a nice doll, but then you really get to see who Chucky is, and you're just like, never mind. So he is pretty much here waiting to seize an opportunity to kill Lexi. That opportunity hasn't presented itself, so he's just like, I'm gonna wait. Lexi had been keeping her costume secret all of this episode, and she finally reveals it to everybody at the party that she is Jake's father getting electrocuted. And that's when I was just like, this bitch, man, this bitch for real. Jake storms out, Devin goes after him, and then he's like, no, I'm not running no more, I'm gonna go confront her for this. And he does, and as he sees her, he sees Chucky behind her about to stab her, and he quickly gets Chucky and leaves. Later that night, they are talking, Chucky and Jake, about what is going to happen. And Chucky's basically like, you're going to have to kill her or she's going to kill you. It's kill or be killed. And sort of trying to convince Jake to follow him this dark path. And by the end of the episode, Jake does in fact take the knife. And it seems like Jake ain't coming back. And so in the next teaser for the next episode, we see that Jake might in fact be trying to get away with killing Lexi or trying to plan it in some way. I don't think he is going to go with it. I feel like he is going to leave it up to Chucky, because in the teaser for the next episode, we see that Jake sort of gives the doll to Lexi's little sister. As we know, she was wanting to be with Chucky and play with Chucky. She is a fan of Chucky. She actually drew him, and the drawing was pretty cool. So I feel like what's going to happen in this next episode definitely is going to be Jake sort of trying to get like the confidence, if you will, to kill Lexi or muster up the strength to kill her. But I feel like at the end of the day, Jake is a good guy, no pun intended there, and is not gonna want to do this. And Chucky's just gonna be like, all right, get out of my way, I'm gonna do this for you. I feel like Chucky's gonna come up with this plan where he will go after Lexi by basically being the doll for Caroline and her to play with, and then ultimately getting to Lexi as we see in the previews. I'd be very interested to see if this next episode of Lexi actually does end up getting killed by Chucky, because that would have been really fast. I'm not sure how many episodes Chucky is. I'm assuming 10. But just from the previews alone, there's still a lot of story to tell, so it could actually be the end of Lexi this next episode. And I mean, Lexi is just somebody who doesn't know when to stop, as we saw with what she did there, and very, very horrible to Jake. So we still don't know what Chucky's ultimate plan is, but just from the previews alone, I think he wants to split his soul even more, and I think he wants to have Jake as a body. This is the reason he's sort of befriending him, as we know Chucky likes to do this, as we've seen in other movies, so there's that. I think it's going to be interesting to see how all of this goes. We still haven't gotten Andy in the episodes yet, or Tiffany. So I think that that's going to be coming after the next episode. I really feel it's going to be like a split into like 2 or 3 stories, and then they all up sort of like get together by the end of it. And I think that's exactly how this whole series is going to play out. I feel like after the next episode, we're going to be with Andy and also Tiffany, and then it's going to shift back to Jake at a point and all of them together. That's how I think this is going to play out, but I am very much so enjoying this season. This series is so good. It really has lived up to my expectations and higher, and I was surprised at how great it is. So make sure you leave your thoughts and comments down below on this latest episode. As I said, it was hilarious when he was wearing the Hello Kitty costume. I think that the cheesiness and also the seriousness of the show is very much so blended well in sort of a great social commentary, satire, horror at the same time, which is very hard to do, but I think that they're nailing it perfectly. So I'm excited to see where this series does progress to. As I said, I will be doing a video after each episode, just going over it, and we can talk about it in the comments. So down below, leave your thoughts and opinions. This is just a way for everybody to talk about this show down here. I've always wanted to do that with all of the shows I watched, and I do it with every other show, like American Horror Story, Only Murders in the Building. So if you're into those shows, check out my other videos if you haven't. But that's going to do it for me. As always, check out the video on the left. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notification bell. Let me know your thoughts and theories, and I'll see you all next time. Stay safe, stay positive.